Let's get it going. 888-957-9570 is the number. That's also the Xfinity mobile text line. You see a game like last night, where do you put the blame? Or what do you attribute last night to? And again, Goo, I right in the middle of that second quarter, I said, man, this disconnect between the old players and the young players is real. And one way I feel that's the case is look at Steph, Clay, and Draymond's numbers last night. They're pretty good. Yeah. They all had pretty good games, but they couldn't win the game. And so that tells me that two things. One is, look, the big three is diminished. They have diminished some. And then the players around them are not good enough right now to help them over the top. So I think there's frustration with the championship core with themselves, but there's a little transference, and they're kind of blaming it or pointing the fingers at the younger players.
You help me decipher what you just said, because the way you said it, I pictured a war movie, Steiny, and you know how your comrades hurt and you got to put them on your back and you got to carry them, back to safety, but sometimes you're not strong enough. So when you say the big three, the core is diminished, I'm not making excuses. But do you think they diminished to the degree that they can't pick up the youngsters? Like maybe It's not, and I'm not caping for the youngsters, but maybe in the past that trifecta, they could take the others to that point now.
I don't think they can. And here's the real. I mean, we can talk individually, but their defense stinks. Steph stinks on defense. Clay stinks on defense right now. Poole is terrible on defense. Draymond is not the defender he was.
So these results are real.
They can't guard anybody. But that's why their only hope is, could they possibly get Wiggins and Peyton back by the end of the year?
All right.
They're both healthy, and now you have two. They might be the two best defenders on the team right now.
Hello?
So that's the
reinforcements are coming.
Clay is not okay on defense to earn a Z. He's not. He cannot guard off the ball as well as on the ball, and his on the ball defense has really, really dipped. It's dipped.
I'm in denial, Steiny, but I'll say this, because there's two things going on here. I'm more upset. I don't know if I'm more. I was really turned off by Draymond Green's actions as a teammate.
Fair.
But now we're getting to the basketball part of it, and you are right. Two guys are coming back. And right now, I believe I would put my John Hancock on. They are the two best defenders on this team. Okay, so that's good news. But damn, Steiny, I just cannot believe on a Tuesday night, Steph Curry's second game back, you can't look around that locker room and say, you know what, the Steinys and Gurus of the world and this 7-24 record we have accumulated, that's nothing. Let's go out here and kick OKC's ass. But yet, Steiny, another game, home or away, you're down early. What is that effort? What is that? That's why I'm in denial.
See, this from the YouTube text line, and we can get into this. It's nuanced. And I don't want to pick on Clay today because he didn't give up 137. That whole defense.
Dude, go ahead.
But Uncle Looney on the YouTube chat.
One of our favorites.
Clay is fine on defense. You have to compare him to the rest of the league, not his past years. Okay, fine. But see what you're doing? You're comparing him to the rest of the league. They were elite in the past. You didn't compare him and them to the rest of the league because they were better than the rest of the league defensively. Clay was one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA. He just no longer is.
And that's a component of it.
It happens.
It ain't all him.
It happens.
What about Draymond, Steiny? I was telling you he was DPO.
But here's the thing.
And I hope the people out there are, you're mad at him, so you're going to say it's D. No, Steiny, they were going at his chest plate too. And they're finishing more times than they ever have. And
here's the other thing. I know Draymond's on your mind.
You want this 100?
It's like golf, Goo. When you concede, it's over.
Well,
it doesn't come back.
I'm going to wait for Wiggins to come. Well, when is that? Yeah.
Okay.
Pay that man his money.
I'm mad.
I know you're mostly mad at Draymond Green.
I'm mad at the culture right now. I'm mad that Curry and Clay didn't call that BS out. That's what
but they've never done it.
But you got to do because that
Why
never
after 12
happened.
years?
He never quit like that on the play. You think?
Come on, Draymond's had multiple times. Maybe not that specific thing, but they've had multiple times to deal with Dre. They're afraid of him. We know that. They don't discipline Draymond Green.
Wow.
That's fine. That's how that won. The veterans, to me, and I'm not saying this is the case, but some thoughts were jumping into my head last night.
Give them to us.
And one is, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because they've been a different kind of team. But we've gotten to the point where it's like Steph, Draymond, and Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Like, they become hard to play with. It's hard to play with them because they're so demanding and they're so, I'll say it, judgmental. And you know what they also have been? They've been exclusive this year. That's what their championship veterans have been. They have been exclusive in terms of
break that down.
They have not included the young players as like great leaders would. They've put up a line between themselves and the young players as opposed to acknowledging their young players and trying to help them. Instead, it feels like they are saying, we can't play with these guys. You want us to play with these guys? You cannot win. So get Wiseman out of here. Get Peyton II back. Get Moody out of here. Start not playing Kuminga as much. Put DiVincenzo in there. We like DiVincenzo. They
don't like him starting.
They
either.
like who they like, and the other guy. And you know what? Here's the other thing. And this isn't all on the veterans, but it's hard to play the champions. Their standards are really high. I think the young players play scared at times because the veterans are just so harsh. They're harsh on these young players, it feels like.
Well, two of them are gone, and you mentioned it, Whitey and Moody, in the meantime. My only thing to that is, if you're a 4-time champion and you are correct, and they're playing like, why would management go into this year thinking it would work and not knowing that Steiny or Steph Curry, my franchise player, feels that way? We have meetings with the boss all day. Sometimes I have them without you. And there's an open line of communication to voice, hey, I don't think we why did that not happen?
What?
Lakeup Myers not knowing that this wasn't going to mesh. Or did it mesh and they won a chip?
Well, it didn't mesh with the young players did nothing last year except Poole. Kuminga was a small piece last year.